Now, there are a couple of guys through the first couple of weeks of this season, the first 3 weeks of the season, two actually going into the third week, that have caught my attention. And they're both two guys that are playing really, really good baseball as we go here in the month of April. And the first guy is a guy that is still a relatively young player, but had some adversity and looks like he's starting to come out of that. And that's Jordan Walker, outfielder for the St. Louis Cardinals. Jordan Walker got to the big leagues in 2023, and he was a young player. At that time, I believe he was 21 years old and tore it up the first couple of weeks, first month he was at the big league level. And then the Cardinals sent him down. You know, they wanted him to work on some things with his swing. He was having success in the big leagues and at the big league level, but they wanted him to work on some things, maybe tap into that power because he had such a big frame, 6'5" guy, and he gets back to the big league level, and it's not the same, right? He had a lot of struggles, did not look at this like the same player. The confidence that he had when he first got to the big leagues wasn't there anymore. And you're wondering, did the Cardinals, mess with this guy's head? Next season comes, and it's a lot of the same, right? Just not figuring it out like he did when he first got to the big leagues. But here we are in 2026. Jordan Walker, at the time of this recording, leads the big leagues with 7 home runs. 7 home runs through the first 2 weeks of the season. 6 homers in his last 8 games at the time of this recording. He only had 6 homers in 111 games last season. So Jordan Walker is playing with tremendous confidence right now. Slash line 327, 393 on base, a 745 slug in 16 games. The power that the Cardinals wanted to see is finally showing up. And you hear me talk about it all the time. You hear other people in baseball talking about it all the time. You hear GMs and presidents of baseball operations talking about the fact that development isn't linear. Like, it's not a straight line. It's not get to the big leagues, have a lot of success. Like, there are different highs and lows. Like, you have a hot start to a career, then it goes down as the league adjusts and the player has to adjust, and then you're going to have some dips and mountains, you're going to have valleys, and it's trying to get as consistent as possible where the lows in that aren't too low. And I think for Jordan Walker, it's huge for him because you see the confidence coming back in a guy who had it when he first got to the big league level. You're also seeing the thing that the Cardinals wanted when they sent him down that first time in 2023. That's happening, right? And you knew it would. Like, when a guy has a frame like Jordan Walker where he's 6'5", 225, 230, there's big-time power there. It was just him being able to not only learn big league starting pitching, but with his hitting mechanics, being able to tap into that power more consistently. And now he's been able to do that. And so I think it's great for him as a player, and the guy who's still a young player right now. But maybe the fact that the Cardinals are in this window where they're not a team that you're looking to make it to the postseason, but now there's more freedom. I think when you have a young player like that that's trying to learn and develop on a team that at the time had Paul Goldschmidt, they had Nolan Arenado, you're trying to win ball games. You're trying to get to the postseason, and sometimes the timelines don't match, where you have a young player that you want to develop and you think can help your team that's going to the postseason, but you can't always afford to have that time. You don't always have that timeline where, hey, we're trying to win ball games. We can't necessarily have him figure things out on the fly. And so good for Jordan Walker. It looks like he has figured some things out and having a lot of success. Another guy who is doing the same, José Soriano for the Los Angeles Angels, has thrived, dominated on the mound for them. He is 4-0 with a 0.33 ERA, 31 strikeouts, just 9 walks. The stuff is electric. Like, you're talking about fastball, 98, 99, 100 miles an hour, nasty breaking stuff. The Angels might have themselves a AL Cy Young type of pitcher. Like, that's how good he's been. You're talking about 4 starts where he's looked almost unhittable. And we talked about you start to look at, okay, who are some of the early awards type of guys? Like, he has the lead right now, the early lead for the AL Cy Young Award. But you look at the stuff, you look at how hitters are, adjusting and not adjusting to what José Soriano is doing up there at the plate. And you're saying, man, like, this is a guy that has big time stuff and is really, really looking good on the mound and putting himself in a position, putting the Angels in position every 5th day to get themselves a win. So José Soriano, I don't know if he could keep it up at this level, but if he can, he's putting together an awesome first month for the Angels, and it's going to be exciting to watch him and see if that stuff can continue going forward.